Okay, so let's go ahead and do these other artboards. And the Twitter is going to be pretty similar to the Facebook. So let's go ahead and do one of these long form ones. Maybe we'll do the Pinterest one next, and then I will do a speed workflow and you can just watch me recreate the other ones. But the process is essentially going to be the same. So we're going to work with the Pinterest graphic now. Make sure that you're saving often and keeping a record of this. So what we want to do now is we have our Facebook artboard with our different layers, and all we have to do at this point is just copy and paste them into the different artboards. So we can take the rectangle and we can right click on it and we can go to duplicate layer, or a quicker way is to click and drag that layer down into the new layer icon at the bottom of the layers panel, and it'll make a duplicate. And then all you have to do is click and drag that into the Pinterest artboard, and it pops it in there for you. Now, of course, this doesn't look too great, so we need to go ahead and manipulate this. So because this is a shape, we can go down and click on the path selection tool here, hold down and click on direct selection tool. And make sure that you have that rectangle selected. And I'm just going to click on it one time, and when I do, it actually shows me 4 points of 4 corners. So if I hit the bottom left corner, I hold down shift and hit the bottom right corner, it'll select both of them, and then I can click and drag. And when I do, I can move this shape. However, I might get off a little bit left or right. So if you hold down shift while dragging, it'll constrain that axis so that you can't go left or right. So I'm going to let go and just kind of see what might look pretty good here. So we don't really know how much we're going to use for this shape. We know we're going to use the top. So we'll just start off right here and see how this looks. So I'm going to hit enter to save that. And then we can start maybe manipulating the cup to make sure that it looks good, and then adding in our text. So let's do that first. Let's go ahead and grab the original image. I'm going to grab my move tool and see what I did here. So we can go up or down a little bit. So this is too much and it was a little too low. So I'm just going to center that up a little bit now. And it's trying to snap on me, so I might use my arrow keys. And that looks pretty good here. So can we go left just a little bit? Okay, that looks good. Let's go ahead and bring over the text. So the same method. We're going to click on free coffee with breakfast item. We're going to duplicate it, and then we're going to take the duplicate and drop it into the Pinterest board. And it's stuck it in there automatically for us. So let's go ahead and grab the move tool, and we can move that up. And have a cup on us. We'll duplicate. We'll drop in Pinterest. Of course, it's too big, so we'll just put it, there for now. It's fine. And the brew house, duplicate, and drop that into Pinterest. Okay, so this looks pretty good. Now, of course, we have to go in and edit all these different things. And I want to use the Facebook as a reference as I create this, just to make sure it looks similar. Let's go ahead and grab this artboard, and we're going to pull it over here to this side of Facebook. And then let's go ahead and hide Instagram and Twitter, because we don't care about those right now. And then what this will allow me to do is it'll allow me to work side by side and just make sure that everything's looking cohesive as I create this image. So obviously the first thing is going to be the text sizes. It remains the font size, but we're going to have to scale those down. So let's go ahead and click on the brew house and move that to the top. Let's click on the free coffee and move that down. And let's go ahead and get the have a cup on us fitted in here so we can see what it looks like. So click on your type tool and just go ahead and bring that type down. Now we'll have to adjust the line height, of course. So let's pull that character panel back open. And let's move this. Now we're a little better into place. And we can decide, okay, we're using text top to bottom, so we might not have as much space up and down. This is starting to look a little crowded. Can we put this back on one line, and how will that look? So I would go ahead and click on this and then hit the delete key and it brings it back up. And I think I'm going to like this better because I think it just breathes a little easier, gives me a little more headroom top to bottom, because remember, we're working a little more horizontally here. Where we had a nice big square for the Facebook image, we don't have as much space here. So I think I like this. And I actually picked I think a pretty good size for the font. So let me see what that was. That was 60, what's that say, 68 points. So that's pretty good size here. So now let's just go ahead and fit in the rest of this text. So we'll click on the brew house, and this is obviously a little too big. So we'll use a preset. Let's just try 24. And then have a free coffee. We don't want to get too small with this. Because you still want people to be able to see this. So 14. What happens if we, oops, looks like I created an extra type layer. I don't want that. So let's go to free coffee. Click in here. Can we get away with putting it on one line? I don't think so. I think it's going to be too small. So let's just undo that. Move that up a little bit. It's definitely text we want people to see. So we can't get much smaller than this because we want to make sure that they can actually tell what's going on here. So that text size is 14 points. I probably won't go any smaller. However, this looks pretty good. So we can go and just kind of manipulate this around a little bit just to see how everything's looking. I think coffee on us is, have a cup on us, looks good. And then I'll do the same thing. I'll zoom out and I'll hide Facebook. And just kind of see, how's that look? It looks like maybe the coffee on us. Maybe we just bring it up just a touch. Not too much. Bring up the cup just a touch. And the brew house, let's bring that up just a little bit. And then I'll turn them both on and look at them side by side and just kind of see, is it pretty much cohesive? It looks like have a cup on us could go over a bump, but that has a nice cohesive feel to it. I'm looking at the spacing in between the free coffee, in between those lines and this line. You can see that it looks like it's just a little bit bigger on this one. So let's go back over to the Facebook one. I think I like it having a little more space like it does in the Pinterest graphic. So I'm going to go back to free coffee with us on the Facebook artboard, and I'm just going to highlight that text. I'm just going to move it down ever so slightly. Let's try 34, 36 maybe. I'm not moving it, I just moved the spacing. So now that spacing is kind of the same spacing wise as it is over here. And I think that looks pretty good. So let's hide that panel. I'll save this. And there we go. Now we have two images quickly and easily created. It looks like the Pinterest image. Now I could sit here and edit this all day, just trying things over and over again to see what's working. Looks like it's a little off, just a little bit. I'm just going to scale it just a hair so that the sides left and right are equal, and that looks really good. So very quickly we're able to recreate the Pinterest graphic, and it's the same process. Now you could do the same thing for web design. You could take your web design and you could create different pages, or maybe you're trying a branding kit and you want to try different colors. So you could have one graphic with the same size be one color, and then another artboard with the same graphic and do different colors. So artboards are a great way to try different images, and it works really good for things like social media because you saw how fast I was able to build those. So I'm going to go ahead and build out the other two real quick and just speed through that for you so you don't have to watch it, but it's the same process.